Hey kiddos, coming to you from our classroom today. I'm glad you came for another reading mini lesson. I know this is more than once in a week, but this is what we're going to be at now. So let's get started, shall we? For today's lesson, you are going to need your reader-writer journal, this one right here, a pen or a pencil, and a biography. So the biography that we're going to use today for the example is called Mae Among the Stars, and it's written by Rhoda Ahmed, illustrated by Stasia Burrington. You can always find a biography on Epic if you don't have one in your home, and you can do that by going to the apps page from your class link, clicking on the Epic app, and typing in the search bar biography or biographies. If you're not totally sure how to spell that, wait until the lesson ends and you can pause the video and copy that down in your notebook so you can spell it correctly. Let's go ahead and get started. For today, we're going to talk about how biographers, the biographer is the author of the book about the person, so biographers decide when to start and stop telling the story of the subject, and the subject is the person they're writing about. Now, some people have just little tiny snippets of their life written about, a couple of days, a few weeks, a few years, and some biographers choose to write about the entire life of their subject. So I have a few examples for you today. So let's get started. So today we're going to talk about these three stories: Mary Cassatt, Action Jackson, and the East-West House. Let's take a look at Mary Cassatt just to review. This is a story we read closer to the beginning of the year. Mary Cassatt was a famous painter, except she was living in a time when women were not encouraged to go to art school. So this biography takes place from when she was a small child, and it stops when she becomes a famous artist. So that's what we'll put down today. It began when Mary Cassatt is a young girl, and it ended when she is a successful artist. The next one, Action Jackson, is about Jackson Pollock. Let's take a look at that story to refresh your memory. This one's by Jan Greenberg and Sandra Jordan, illustrated by Robert Andrew Parker. This took place not over a very long time. It gave us Jackson's process on how he did a piece of art, gave us a couple of examples of what his art might look like, and a little fact check at the back. So this takes place, it begins one afternoon when Jackson is an adult, and it ends only 2 months later, so just a very short snippet of Jackson's life. This next story, The East-West House, is about the artist Noguchi, and he was a child in Japan, and if you'll remember, he was a child of mixed race, and he wasn't sure kind of where he fit in society. Did he fit in America, or did he fit in Japan? And he decided to make a place where he could be both. And so this is the story of part of his life here. So this story takes place when Isamu Noguchi is a baby, is when it begins, and it ends when he is an older boy. Let's take a look at the example that I have for you today. Make it a little bigger for you. Here we go. This book is Mae Among the Stars. So first I want you to go to your reader's notebook, go to your mini lesson notes section, and turn to the page where you have glued in Biographers Decide When to Start and Stop Telling the Story of the Subject. So that's where you're going today. So this book here, Mae Among the Stars, is about Mae Jemison, and this is in our classroom, so you're always welcome to check it out and look at it. From me reading it, it looks like it starts when she is a first or second grader. I think that because she's got a backpack and a book, and I know it talks about her going to school and having a teacher that talks with her. And this is about a couple of things that she thinks over the next few days, and then she goes back to school, and then at the end her mom says, you can do whatever you want to do, you know, don't listen to other people who don't encourage you, follow your dream. And it does have a little one page at the end that tells about that she went on dreaming and worked really hard and she became an astronaut. And I love this. It says she went to space and waved to her mom and dad on Earth, which I thought was awesome. So most of the story actually takes place maybe only the course of a couple of days in Mae Jemison's life. And that's what I'm going to write down today, even though there was a little blurb at the end about her being an adult. Most of the story took place when she was younger. So I am going to take my pencil and I'm going to write Mae Among the Stars. And this one is written by Rhoda Ahmed. Make sure I spell her name correctly. And I'm going to say this biography takes place over the course of just a few days. All right, your turn. What you are going to do is find a biography, like I said, on Epic or some other source. You're going to give that a good read, record it in your reader's log so that we know that you've read that and you can also keep track of it. And decide, if you can decide how long of a course it takes place over. I said that totally wrong, but that's okay. I'm not going to start the video over. Decide how long or over what period of time the biography takes place. There, I said it. Okay, write it in your journal, bring it back to school with you on your next in-person day, and I cannot wait to see who you have read about.